Happy Monday, everyone. Sorry, a little later than usual for it, but I still appreciate you guys checking it out. Crazy weekend. A lot of stuff. We finally found out Kurt's plans. We got to see Hailie in a car, but all of it, no matter what, was overshadowed by the complete, just blatant stupidity and whatever else you'd like to call that whole thing with Bubba. I really, every time I try to say something nice about him, he turns around and does, stupid shit like that. And pardon my French, but what else do you want me to call it? Like that was just blatantly stupid shit. Um, Not really a big fan of that kind of stuff. I mean, to an extent, and I'll get into all of that because again, like no one cares about playoff stuff or anything coming out of the weekend. We're all talking about how dumb Bubba is. And again, if you feel differently after you hear what I have to say, please feel free to comment, message me on Messenger, on direct message me on Twitter, anywhere. Find me. And I have no problem discussing it with you. You can even come on here and talk about it. But first things first, the ARCA Menards West Series started Nursery 150 at the Bull Ring at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Didn't get to see it, not until Friday. Nothing I could do about that, but might as well go over the results. It's the second to last race of the season. We got to see Taylor Gray get the win. Good for Taylor. Again, great young, talented driver. Where is he going to go in the future? Who knows? We got to see how all the cards fall, but really good to see him get another win. Andres Perez de Lara got second, Landon Lewis third, Kyle Keller fourth, Buddy Shepard fifth, Tanner Reif sixth, Bradley Erickson seventh, Jake Drew eighth, Jacob Smith ninth, and Toss Souza 10th. And the points going into the last race right now, Jake Drew's in first, Tanner Reif second, down 56. So, I mean, and Colt Moore is third, down 57. So we pretty much already know, how that's all going to go. I mean, once you're down that many, pretty much an impossible thing to come back from. But again, I didn't see anything that he locked it in, so I'm not saying anything. Congratulations. Just in case something dumb happens, I don't want to be the jinx. And listen to it. Watch races, watch football. They're having the best thing of their career. 3 seconds later, all hell breaks loose. Not going to be my fault. Not going to be my fault at all. But, one more race coming down in a couple weeks. And it'll be ending the same time as all the other NASCAR guys. So, I mean, we're about to be in that break where there's not a lot of racing left to be had. Sadly, I'm not really happy about that, but it is what it is. What are we going to do about it? The Xfinity Series Elsko Uniforms 302 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I enjoyed it. First and foremost, I have to thank Hulu or the powers that be at NASCAR for saying it was going to start at this time. This is when coverage starts for the race and the pre-show is over. And it started recording right away, and they're 6.5 laps in. So thank you for that. Whoever did it. Granted, I didn't miss anything, but it's like when they say practice qualifying is on, they come on there. No, Group A is already done. Well, thanks, guys. What good does that do? But AJ Allmendinger on pole, sadly, that was where the good part of his day ended. If you watched it and heard the in-car audio, you understand he was not happy at all. Chris Rice was telling him pretty much to fuck off. Like, being this way about it isn't going to help anything, which he's right. It's not, but it was really just weird to see him that off. I mean, I've seen them have some issues, but that was just terrible, especially after how good he, ran and Hailie and Justin Hailie in the Cup race, same track. I mean, different car, but just weird to see them off that much. But Ty Gibbs won stage one by like 5+ seconds. And he did also have another run in with John Hunter Nemechek. It's a slight run in. I consider that one more of a racing incident, and neither were going to give each other an inch because of, I believe, Richmond earlier this year. But it ended up clean, which is a good thing. No one did anything stupid, thank God. But Noah Gragson won stage two, number 14 on the season. Holy balls. 7 wins, 14 stages. That's dominance. Hopefully, it carries over. Or I mean, he's not going to dominate for petty GMS, but hopefully it carries over and he helps elevate them in the Cup Series next year. First real caution came out 40 to go, and Brandon Jones, even though he never fully went around, saved it was sideways, and they had the same thing happen earlier in the race. I don't remember who it was off the top of my head, but they were completely sideways, saved it, no caution. Race control. Whoever's the one pushing the button, someone has to make them get their head out of their ass because they were way off. Way again. And that's just what pisses everyone off because they keep doing it. And a lot of the thing there was just Nogar making that hard contact coming to the white flag, but still finished third. And how about Josh Berry, though? Getting the win at Vegas again. Moves into the championship 4 at Phoenix. So that's exciting. See what he's going to do. See what he could do there. I mean, just see what could happen there with him having a chance with how Junior Motorsports has been on ovals. I'm intrigued to see that going in there, but he won. Noah Gragson was second. Justin Allgaier third. Ty Gibbs fourth. Trevor Bayne got a fifth. Hopefully, again, one of those Gibbs cars. He's done more than earn a second chance and to ride full time in that car. They afforded him the opportunity and he wanted to. He's always run good. And everyone can pick on him and say, well, he didn't look where the Wood brothers were. He drove for them, or Roush years ago when he was doing part time. Like, it just wasn't good. It's not on him. I'd like to see him get another opportunity though. Austin Hill was sixth, Sam Mayer seventh, Daniel Hemrick eighth, Brandon Jones got a ninth, and Anthony Alfredo rounding out the top 10. Shout out to him. It's good to see his name up there. Hailie Deegan, 13th. We've seen people run good in that car, and she ran good. Did she run as good as some? No. But it was her first race in the Xfinity Series, driving for that, and driving, that team. And she got 13th. She had goals to top 15. Good to see. I'm going to get into more of that after I go over the Cup stuff, but good to see it. And then AJ got a 22nd place finish after just a really bad day. Like, nothing went right for them. I didn't see that coming. I mean, I didn't expect it, because they haven't had the fastest all the time for ovals, but I mean, he was off. Hemrick was up there, Castle was up there. He was just off. I don't understand it. Hopefully they figure it out, because it would suck to see it fall apart. Now coming down to the end of it all, see it get bombed. But points, trying to make it so if you are watching this, maybe, just maybe, you could see it. Nope. There we go. Okay. Going into Homestead Miami Speedway, Josh Berry is now first and advanced with the win, obviously. Congratulations again on getting in there. That's the whole thing. When you're in, well, he won and got his way in there, and he's run consistent pretty much all year. All the junior guys have. So not, surprised by that. Gregson's second at plus 44. I think, he has such a big gap. It's going to take legit catastrophe for him to not make it, in my opinion. It's actual wood, so I can knock on it. We'll see what happens. Ty Gibbs third at plus 25. Obviously, that's way easier to lose. Justin Allgaier fourth at plus 15. That one's, a big one that can be lost. I don't think he's going to necessarily. They've just been too consistent, but all it takes is getting caught in someone else's nonsense, and that could all be over. But below the cut line, Austin Hill's fifth at minus 15, AJ Allmendinger sixth at minus 16, regular season champion, all those bonus points, and one bad race, and look where he is after all that. Brandon Jones seventh at minus 27, Sam Mayer eighth at minus 36. Those are the two I really think they're going to have to win a race if they want to get in there. Again, something stupid could happen. Seeing a lot of stupid happen, especially over the weekend in the Cup race. And that could bring them right back in. I just really think that, especially Sam, Sam, those two. AJ can have good races and someone could slip a little and he can get, stage points over someone, twice. And, that could be a whole nother ball game. I think that's easy. But I think we can all agree 27 and 36 points out going into next weekend. That's a lot to try to make up in two races. And they're probably going to have to win in order to do it. God bless whatever telemarketer just tried to call me and knock this off. Worst timing ever, those people. But yeah, I think that they still have a shot being there. It's just, I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment. I think it's a must win for the two of them. We've seen Brandon Jones go out there and win when he has to. Sam Ayer's still looking for that first one. Again, he's so young, though. Next year, I think he'll be much more consistent and locked in, because he'll have a year under his, he'll have all this under his belt, which will help him a lot. And he's super young and super talented. I don't see him going anywhere. I just think, he's going to need next year in order to get there. But, only time will tell. I hope he gets in there, but I'm intrigued to see which of those two are which, who's going to make it out of there. Is AJ going to get back into it? Then who do they throw out? Josh Berry, Noah Gragson, Ty Gibbs, Justin Allgaier. And you add AJ to it. And they've all been right up there in the top 10, which is why they say wins matter. And they do. So see where that goes in the Cup Series. South Point 400. Shout out to South Point for committing to sponsoring the race and working with NASCAR for another couple of years. Good on them. It's good to see that happen. It's much appreciated to see a sponsor sticking around through all that. But Tyler Reddick on pole, Austin Cindric second. So good to see the young guys out there getting it. They're just not the ones you'd expect. Bubba won stage one under caution. He had a fairly decent lead. Pretty sure he was going to regardless. But caution came out, got that under caution. See, that's not a shot at Bubba. He had a fast car. Then, well, the whole Bubba thing happened. Again, I'll get into it. Don't feel like wasting time right now talking about that, but that was ridiculous. Blaney won stage two, got another one. Good for him. Yeah, which that one stage point, I mean, it come down to 1 point. That makes a very large difference. So he got it when he had to. Sadly, lost a tire while he was in second place and flying around the track. It's a damn shame, but it is what it is. Ruined his day. But again, that 1 point, even if that knocked him a little bit out, that 1 point's 1 point. We've seen people get knocked out for less. So see how it works out. In the end, Kyle Busch lost that, left front going down the backstretch during that pit stop. So it's now going to end that way with, crew chief and the tire changer, all of them being suspended going into next year. That's how a season is going to end with them, which is just fitting with the way everything's gone. Just terrible, but it is what it is, especially when they switch his team to give his team, someone still in the playoffs. So now he's not even working with his normal guys. Sucks to be him, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And, I wish we could have seen it end better with Toyota and Gibbs with him, but I'm going to quote the one exec from Toyota: is the last thing we want is to have to race against piss off Kyle Busch. And Kyle's pissed. He's handling it way better than everyone thought he could, but he's mad. And I wouldn't want to race against him in a pissy mood either. And also on the weekend, it was good to see people actually making passes. Like people could actually come through the field. We saw people do it. It's just a good change of pace to finally, at least see that. In my opinion, there was a lot of passing, which, didn't happen a lot. People had to play with air, but people could catch each other and figure out how to get around. Great change of pace. But congratulations to Joey Logano, advances to the championship race. We all know I'm not a fan of him personally, but ran it clean. Him and Ross had good racing their last couple laps. No one did anything stupid. I'm okay with it. He's now to the championship 4. Chastain was second. Kyle Busch came back, still finished third, even with that tire. Briscoe 4th, Hamlin 5th, Reddick 6th, Truex 7th, Eric Jones 8th. Happy to see that happen because he was running good earlier in the spring. Had the tire go down late, wreck. It was good to see him close it out after how good he ran there earlier this year. AJ Allmendinger got a 9th, and after he ran the Xfinity Series, means I don't know, weird. But Austin Dillon 10th, Noah Gragson got an 11th, filling in the 48. So good to see that. Byron 13th. Chase Elliott 21st, and he was just garbage all day. It was kind of like AJ in the Xfinity Series. Like, he was just bad. So see if they could bounce back. Ty Gibbs 22nd, Blaney 28th, Christopher Bell 34th, Larson 35th, and Bubba Wallace dead last in 36th after all of that stupid that happened. Just going to leave it at that. After all that stupid, because that was just blatant stupid. But points above the cut line. Right now, Logano's first and advanced because the win. Chastain second at plus 18. Chase Elliott third. Thank God he had all those bonus points and all the playoff points and everything, because that still has him at plus 17, which is, a fairly comfortable number going into, Miami and also Martinsville, because we know we can race there. I just hope they make the package better because that race sucked in the spring. Hamlin 4th at plus 6. He's the one that, I think is in the danger zone out of the people above the cut line. And then you get to the guys below it. Byron, obviously 5th at minus 6. Briscoe 6th at minus 9. Blaney 7th at minus 11. And Christopher Bell 8th at minus 23. Gonna have to, looking like he might have to win his way back in with all of it because of everything that happened. If I was him, I'd be pissed. I wouldn't have handled it nearly as nicely as he did, or the words you said. But on to Homestead. And again, I think it'll have a bigger picture going into Martinsville. We'll really, really know, obviously, one more race in the points, but I don't know. I just hope the racing doesn't suck nearly as bad as it did in the spring, because I went into it pissed that they cut 100 miles off of it. And then I ended it pissed that they didn't take more out of it, because that was terrible. But we'll see when we get there. God, 2 races, please don't suck. I think we can all that watch NASCAR collectively say, please God, don't suck. But that gets me on to, the whole collective of everything. It was good to see people passing. It was good to see that. It doesn't happen every week. It was, terrible to see their inconsistency with cautions. Again, shocker. Whoever's in race controls actually just, I don't know. I don't want to accuse anyone of being on anything, but not really like the best look all year. They've been just terrible. That one person gets sideways and saves it, no caution. Next dude gets sideways, saves it, caution. 4 to go, bunch everyone back up. Like, it was just dumb stuff like that. Hopefully they figure it out. Kurt Busch announcing he's done full time, and so Tyler Reddick got released from his contract, gets to move over 2311 a year early and have a ride. I still don't like it. What are the odds this happens to Kurt? We're 4 months away from next season. He's already calling it quits and done. I know it could take some time, but we've seen, the Daniel Bryan / Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to call him. These people come back Christian from concussion issues and be able to wrestle again and do that. It does take time, but it's just weird to see him gone conveniently when Reddick needed a ride. Man, Childress let him go. I still don't know how I would have handled that situation, but it sucks. Everyone's saying Hailie Deegan deserves an Xfinity Series ride because of one race. No, put her back in the trucks next year. See if she can run a consistent season. She's had a lot of stuff happen that wasn't her fault this year, but she's had a lot of bad luck. One good race should not deserve, a full-time ride next year, especially look how many guys have been down there having really good years for years on end that don't have a ride. So please, everyone, stop jumping the gun. I know I'm going to get yelled at, whatever. You're going to call me a misogynist, this, that, and the other. I just think that next year, have her try to get consistent, in the truck series. And then also she can run a bunch of Xfinity races instead of just one to see how she runs in all of them before making any future decisions. That's how a smart person would do it. Don't rush her through just because you can. And I know they're different beasts, but, figure that one out and get more races in the Xfinity Series under your belt before going, full time, because it could have been that one good race and then she could have terrible races when she runs more. You never know. I just want to see her get another year in the trucks so she gets more experience in the car before going full time. If you can't, agree with that, sorry to hear it. Sucks to be you. I don't believe Christopher Bell said it was a normal racing thing and defended Bubba and sided with him in a way. It's just regular hard racing thing, Okay. Bubba bounced off the wall. Everything was perfectly fine. I mean, they barely made any contact. He barely made contact with the wall. We saw Kyle was sideways. It happens all the time, every race. Neither of them lifted, but it's just what happens. Bubba coming all the way down the track. I mean, sorry, we've all seen enough toe links and everything break in these cars. It's not just cutting there and accelerating and then blaming the steering was gone. Please, Bubba, grow the fuck up. This is why no one likes you. Everyone knows it's a race thing. No, he's just an asshole. Taking him out like that was dirty. That was disrespectful. And it ruined another one of your Toyota guys. And then he took no responsibility for that either and put Christopher Bell in the spot he's in after having to race his way in. He's now 23 points out because of that stupid. And he took no responsibility. Let's not get into the fact that you're supposed to put your window net down and wait for safety personnel to get to you. Now, put your window net down, go walking across the track, walk up to guy, drop your helmet, and I get a shove. What, that many? Shoving Kyle up into his car like that? Sorry, it's not a good look. One time, maybe 4 times, and shoving the official off of him. Giving brushing him off. You didn't shove him, but still making contact with him, trying to tell him where to go. Like, he broke so many protocols, used his car as a weapon, saying he lost his steering. Yeah. I was like Kyle when he said he lost his steering earlier this year. Like, no, he didn't. He's just done. Like, you made it around the track, but you couldn't do that. Sure, pal. It was one of those. And I don't care what. Yell at me. Argue with me. That was grody. That was low, and he should be suspended. I mean, retaliation, sure. Yeah, saying he did nothing, even though we all saw it, and you could see he was accelerating. I mean, like, they have the computers to see all this, so lying makes it even worse, in my opinion. Makes him look like a bigger ass. Took out Kyle. Driver's side door hit. If you didn't hit, God knows how it could have been if he didn't hit Christopher Bell. If that didn't happen, it could have been head on with all the concussions and stuff we've had, hitting him with like 160, taking that shot to the door. And then shoving him, and congratulations to Kyle Larson for just sitting there and taking it, not swinging back at him, letting him be like asshole. I've always said I didn't like him because of his attitude. His head is never on right. He's not fully mature enough to be in the position that he's in. He's an entitled ass, and that's why he has everything. Sorry, what had they done? Anyone else got out of their car, broke protocol, walked down, dropped their helmet, and started, double fish, double palm shoving dude into his car and around all over the place, and then walking off and putting his hands, even though it's just brushing off an official. Chase can get in trouble for telling the cameraman to take a hike, then he should get in trouble for that too and should be suspended. Well, that was a very childish thing to do. And again, with all the concussions, everything they're talking about, that was dumb and dangerous. They don't do anything. They prove all of our points. And NASCAR will take one more hit like they haven't had enough for the way they've handled enough stuff. They suck and they continuously do it. Tell me where I'm wrong. I beg you. I really do. So comment on it. Let me know what you think. Follow along again, YouTube, Rumble, all those places, Apple, Google Podcasts. And I'll be back later this week, and I'll even possibly do some shorts on YouTube. So enjoy your week. Be good to each other. And until next time, peace.